All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to call the August 18th, 2025 meeting of the Merced City Council to order. We're going to begin with an invocation from Pastor Joel Dorman, Summit Church of Merced, and after that, if Councilmember Harris could lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you stand? Let's pray. Father, we thank you for this day that you have made, that we thank you for the country we live in, the state we live in, and this great city that we call home. We thank you also that you have spared us some of the extreme heat that so many people are dealing with, although we acknowledge our time is coming in a few days. We do pray for safety for those who are out in this heat. We pray that you would watch out for them. We thank you for our city government. We thank you for their work for us, the people, and we pray for them and their endeavors. We pray for our governor. We pray for our president. We thank you for this nation that we have representation, that we can air our concerns, ask our questions, and we thank you for those who actually volunteer to do this. And we pray your blessings on their efforts. Pray for tonight, and as we maybe agree or disagree, may we remember that we are looking at individuals who are made in your image and treat them with appropriate respect. I thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for our city. In the name of my Savior, Jesus, amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Harris. Thank you, Pastor Dorman.
Okay, agenda item D, roll call. Councilmember DuPont.
Present.
DeAnda.
Here.
Harris.
Present.
Smith.
Present.
Zhang.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Boyle.
Here.
And Mayor Serrato.
Present.
Mayor, I'd like to remind the audience that if they wish to address the city council, they must submit a green request to speak form located at the podium in the back of the chamber. Additionally, citizens can submit public comment to the city council electronically no later than 1 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Comments received before the deadline will be sent to the city council and will be part of the record and will be mentioned as part of the written petitions and communications portion of the agenda and will be posted on the city's website. Material may be emailed to cityclerk@cityofmerced.gov, and any correspondence received after 1 p.m. will be distributed to the city council and retained for the official record. Also, for those audience members who wish to hear the council meeting translated into Spanish or Hmong, please let our interpreters know.
Hola, mi nombre es Rita. Si ustedes necesitan servicios de interpretación, yo voy a estar en la parte de atrás del auditorio. Gracias.
Yajong Columbia Gompang Ko Holitalu Ko Merced Lao family. Hetan Lintis Atoke Bat Halumong Kunyanana. Ocha.
In accordance with Government Code 54952.3, it is hereby announced that the City Council sits either simultaneously or serially as a Public Financing and Economic Development Authority, Parking Authority, and/or successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency. City Council members receive a monthly stipend of $500 by charter for sitting as a City Council, and the Mayor receives an additional $100 each month as part of the adopted budget and Resolution 2024-78. The Public Financing and Economic Development Authority, Parking Authority, and successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency receive no compensation. Agenda item E, report out of closed session.
We do have a report out of closed session tonight. First, with respect to item B3, Councilmember DuPont had a conflict and did not recuse himself and did not participate in the discussions. And then with respect to item B1, the council agreed in principle to a 5-year extension to the term of our finance officer, Venus Rodriguez. Venus has been finance officer for 8 years, has been with the city for 24. So the council agreed with another 5-year extension to her contract, and we'll formalize that at a future date. So I wanted to congratulate Venus and thank the council. I think I'm making a wise choice. Venus has been an incredible asset to the city and will continue to be so for the next 5 years.
Okay, agenda item F, ceremonial matters. F1, proclamation, National Night Out.
Thank you. All right. National Night Out. Captain Perez. Welcome, Captain Perez. Welcome, Rosa. Gentlemen. All right. guys tell us about National Night Out and all the hard work that went into it. I heard this year was probably the most successful ever with roughly 200 or so different participants and a big section of the community that came out to participate at Applegate Park. So, Kevin, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Member and Council, for recognizing the great work that was done for this event. It was bigger. Anybody who showed up probably had a tough time finding parking. Most of the credit goes to CSO Rosa Alcarez. She's been with us 3 years? 3 years? Ever since she came on, I mean, even though she's a San Diego Padres fan, when it comes to planning events, she's like Barry Bonds. She's always hitting home runs. Every event she comes into, how can I make this bigger, better, more fun for the community? And I mean, from the first National Night she did to now, it was huge. There's food vendors. I mean, it was packed. Kids running around having a good time. It was just a great community event, very successful, and we're excited about next year. Would you like to say anything, Rosa?
Well, I just want to say thank you to the community because the event has grown because of the community support. So I have an amazing admin that supports my ideas and also the support from community members and the community itself. So every event that we host is to make that connection. So I appreciate what our department is doing with our community. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Captain Perez. Thank you, Rosa, in particular. Thanks for carrying these guys behind you and doing all the hard work and making us all look good. And Lieutenant Haygood, Lieutenant Barajas, thank you guys both for being here. All right, here's our proclamation. Whereas National Night Out is an annual community building campaign that promotes strong police-community partnerships and neighborhood camaraderie to make our neighborhoods safer and to make more caring places to live. And whereas the Merced Police Department, in partnership with local residents, businesses, and community organizations, has shown unwavering commitment to fostering relationships that enhance public safety and community well-being. And whereas National Night Out provides a unique opportunity for the city of Merced to join thousands of communities across the nation in promoting police-community partnerships, crime prevention, and neighborhood unity. And whereas the Merced Police Department plays a vital role in safeguarding the rights and safety of all citizens, and their active engagement during National Night Out reflects their dedication to building trust and transparency with the people they serve. And whereas the event encourages residents to participate in block parties, cookouts, and community events with a shared goal of supporting local law enforcement and making Merced a safer place for all. And whereas National Night Out enhances the relationship between neighbors and law enforcement while bringing back a true sense of community and providing an excellent opportunity to bring police and neighbors together under positive circumstances. Now, therefore, I, Matthew Serrato, Mayor of the City of Merced, on behalf of the Merced City Council, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, August 5th, 2025 as National Night Out in the City of Merced, and urge all residents to participate in this year's, even though it was 13 days ago, in this year's National Night Out, to support the efforts of the Merced Police Department and to promote a stronger, safer, and more united Merced. Thank you. All right. You can tell just from the great turnout, too, how many people came out, just the support this community has for you guys and how much they believe in you and how much they trust in the mission you guys are sworn to serve.
Agenda item G, written petitions and communications. Mayor, the clerk's office received emails from Clarence Chance and Michael Morin regarding public comment. The emails were received by the 1 p.m. deadline. They were sent to council and posted on the city's website. Any emails received after the 1 p.m. deadline will be sent to council. Agenda item H, public comments. Members of the public who wish to speak on any matter not listed on the agenda may speak during this portion of the meeting and will be allotted 3 minutes. The mayor may propose a further limit to the time available for all speakers at the discretion of the city council in order to accommodate as many speakers as possible. State law prohibits the city council from acting at this meeting on any matter raised during the public comment period. Members of the public who wish to speak on a matter that is listed on the agenda will be called upon to speak during the discussion of that item. And Mayor, I currently have 4 request to speak forms.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. 3 minutes each.
Okay, if I can get the speakers to the podium to my left. Ravi Tagar, Michael Morin, Levon Phillips, and Youth United.
Okay. All right, go ahead, sir. All right, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor, council members, and neighbors. My name is Ravi Tagar, and I'm the owner of Fastest Labs of Merced, the newest locally owned testing and screening facility in town. Fastest Labs provides clean and professional and rapid testing services for employers, schools, nonprofits, and families. Our services include workplace drug and alcohol testing, DOT and non-DOT, pre-employment and post-accident testing, random program management, DNA paternity testing, and on-site mobile collections for businesses that need us to come to them. Our goal is simple: make safety and compliance fast, accurate, and hassle-free for Merced. I started this franchise here because I believe Merced deserves the same high-quality workforce services that big metros enjoy, without driving out of town or waiting days for results. We invested in modern equipment, rigorous chain of custody procedures, and trained collectors so employers can hire confidently, keep crews safe, and get people back to work quickly. Over the next year, our goals are to create quality local jobs, help reduce hiring delays for Merced employers, and make our roads and workplaces safer by delivering fast, reliable testing when it's needed most. We want to be the responsive, friendly team that you call on when there's a deadline, a safety incident, or simply a new hire who needs clearance. I'm grateful to build this business here in Merced. If you want a tour, please come see us at 79 West Alexander Ave. We'd love to show you how we operate, answer your questions, and earn your trust. Thank you for the opportunity to serve Merced.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming to speak to us, and thank you for your investment in our community. All right, next speaker, Mr. Moore. All right, good evening, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members, staff, and community members. My name is Michael Marin, owner of MCM Plumbing here in Merced. I want to remind everyone what it means to be a public servant. Public service is not a privilege, it's a public trust. The law makes this clear. Public employees must place loyalty to the Constitution, the laws, and ethical principles above private gain. That responsibility applies to every department, every title, every action. Yet here in Merced, that trust has been broken. Public Works, the most well-funded department in this city, has been installing backflow devices, modifying fire systems, and performing work on private property, sometimes alongside licensed and unlicensed contractors. This has been done using city labor, equipment, and materials, without permits, without inspections, and without proper licensing. Meanwhile, local businesses like mine are forced through delays, extra steps, and costly requirements that the city doesn't apply to itself. I submitted a bid for over $15,000. Instead, the city told the customer to buy the device and then had Public Works install it. That work wasn't free. It cost taxpayers by diverting workers away from repairing public infrastructure, losing tax revenue that could have
I will
come.
stop you at 1:30. Could you please silence your phones, please? Whoever's phone that is. That was- Okay, you can restart whenever you're ready.
Okay.
So the time was paused too, so you have 1:30.
All right, I appreciate it. Losing tax revenue that should have come from licensed businesses and undermining contractors who follow the rules. This isn't about one incident, it's a pattern. Rules applied selectively, enforcement used inconsistently, and accountability missing where it matters most. When rules are applied unevenly, when enforcement is selective, trust is broken. And once trust is broken, it's hard to rebuild. The community isn't asking for special treatment, we're asking for fair treatment. The same rules, the same enforcement, no exceptions. So I ask this council to investigate these practices, audit Public Works, and make the findings public, hold your own departments to the same standards you enforce on us, and reform the system so this can't be happening. Because a government that picks winners and losers isn't a public service, it's a private club. and you can't build a thriving city on the backs of the businesses you keep breaking. Public service is a noble calling, but it comes with a simple truth. You serve the people first, always. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, Ms. Phillips.
To the mayor and the council. I'm here on safety issue. My church is located out on Mather Road, and it was founded in 1952. We have no lights, no street lights, no sidewalks. And we have a very elderly congregation, and they won't come out at night because it's so dark. And our church has been broken in 3 times. They stole our lawnmower, riding lawnmower. They stole food from our shelter. We always give out food for Thanksgiving and Christmas. They stole the turkeys. They stole other things out of the church. And it's sad that the church been out there since '52, and they don't have sidewalks. This is the city of Merced. And I think that every citizen is out near Farmdale School. Kids have to walk down that street, and there's no sidewalks, and it's a safety hazard. And I think it's something that needs to be done. And I also put some cards there. I invited all of you to church, so you are welcome to come to church anytime you feel like it. But I think it's something that needs to be done about that street. It needs to be sidewalks. If the street is narrow, 2 cars can barely go down the street without getting in an accident. So I would ask the city to look into getting some sidewalks out and at least getting some, I mean, it's so dark out there that it's not safe to be out there at night. And our members won't come out at night because of that, the darkness. And that's all I have to say. What you would consider looking at the sidewalks and the street lights, putting in some. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Lavon. We'll follow up. Encourage you to talk to our city engineers in back. Might be worth.
Would you point him out?
Just stood up.
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Jordan. So it might be worthwhile to have a conversation with him, and we'll follow up with you as well. Either a council member or someone from our city staff will follow up. But yeah, in the meantime, Daryl's the guy to talk to right now. Thank you, Lavon.
Did you want to say anything? Yeah, I'm going to say something quick and then I'll put the video. Okay. It's right here. Okay. I just have to press play? Okay. Good evening, everybody. Hi, my name is Susie. I'm the program manager from the Youth Leadership Institute supporting Youth United. I'm here to introduce our young people. They have a few words to say in gratitude for the current improvements to Flanagan Park. But before I let them take over, we have a short video for you all.
Hello, my name is Adrian Tejeda, and I am here on behalf of Youth United. I would like to take a moment to express our sincere gratitude to those of you who have taken the time to hear our concerns and consider our requests regarding park improvements. We deeply appreciate the actions taken in response. Your commitment to the betterment of Merced does not go unnoticed. As a group of young people invested in the future of our city, we are encouraged by the progress we've seen and remain hopeful for continued efforts and positive change.
Hello, my name is Quinton Nines, and I'm here today representing Youth United. I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to the City of Merced for recent upgrades made to Flanagan Park. Thanks to the new installations of new lighting, community members are now able to enjoy the park safely even after sunset. The addition of clean water, accessible drinking, has made meaningful difference, especially during the hot summer months. And with the new basketball hoops, residents have a new space to come together and engage in one of their favorite sports. These improvements have been a greater impact on the community than you may realize, and we are truly appreciative of your investment in our neighborhoods. Thank you for your continued support.
Hi, my name is Adriana Claude. I'm from Youth United. In today's world where technology is becoming increasingly dominant in the lives of young people, we often overlook the importance of physical activity and outdoor interaction. The effects of excessive screen time on youth development are significant, and that makes spaces like our local parks even more essential. Providing clean, safe, and accessible environments allow us and families and children to thrive physically, mentally, and socially. At Youth United, we are committed to supporting efforts that uplift our community. We appreciate the opportunity to engage in ongoing conversations with the city around improving public spaces, and we hope continuing working together ensure Merced's youth have the tools, spaces, and opportunities they need to grow into stronger, capable leaders.
Director Jensen?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. Just wanted to take the opportunity to let the community know about an event we have coming up next month. This is our third annual Gateway to Yosemite 5K, 10K. This is being carried out in collaboration with Merced County Office of Education and Central Valley Opportunity Fund. We have a 5K, a 10K, and this year we'll be doing a Parent and Me 1K. So no excuse for anybody not to attend. It's a great time had by all. There is a registration fee for each level of run that you want to participate in, but it's open to anyone, and I'll leave some flyers and some cards in the back if anybody'd like more information. You can simply scan the QR code there and it'll take you directly to our registration site. All proceeds will be dedicated to help construct the playground, all-inclusive playground at General Vang Pao Park later this year. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, your department. Thank Public Works, and thank everybody for their advocacy for Flanagan Park. It certainly needed it. You guys are our eyes and ears out there, and it's good to be able to partner and deliver like that. So, thank you. All right, anybody else, Jennifer?
That's all we had, Mayor.
All right, on to consent.
Okay, agenda item I, consent calendar.
All right, members of the council have any items on the consent agenda they would like to see pulled for separate consideration? Councilmember Jean.
I-2, please.
2, okay. SRO contract. Anybody else? All right, Jennifer, anybody from the public have any of the items they wish to have pulled for separate consideration?
We don't have anything, Mayor.
Okay, we'll pull I-2, and we'll entertain discussion or a motion with respect to the balance.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Boyle and a second by Councilmember DuPont. The motion will include agenda item I-4, the adoption of ordinance 2580, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Merced, California, amending chapters 15.08 and 15.40 of the Merced Municipal Code to extend the time during which the city will refund certain payments for water and sewer lines to the University of California, Merced. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. Okay, the motion passes unanimously.
All right, to I-2, Councilmember Zhang, this is your request to have it pulled separately. This is the MOU between the city and Merced Union High School District for 4 school resources officers over the period of 3 years. Councilmember Zhang.
Yeah, same comment as last council meeting with regards to SROs. I'm not fond of cops on campus, and so similar to last time, I am opposing this.
Okay. Jennifer, anything from the public?
We don't have anything, Mayor.
All right, anything from the other council members? Any questions or comments?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember DuPont and a second by Councilmember Harris. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. Mr. DeAnda? Okay, and the motion passes with Councilmember Zhang voting no.
All right, thank you, Jennifer. On to our action items, J1.
Okay, agenda item J, action items. J1, land use determination number 25-03, finding the public convenience or necessity for Sayer Laura for alcohol sales for on and off-site consumption for Valley Public House at 521 West Main Street.
All right, Mr. Livingston.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Matt Livingston, the assistant planner. This project is land use determination number 25-03 for a finding of public convenience or necessity for a type 42 ABC license for a new bar called Valley Public House at 521 West Main Street. So here's the location map. As you can see, the project site is on West Main Street, right across the street from Bob Hart Park. Here is the nearby sensitive uses. So as you can see, like I said, across the street is Bob Hart Square. Further to the south is some high-density residential, which begins about 1,200 feet away. And then directly to the south is some low-density residential. It's about 1,850 feet away. To the east is some high-density residential as well. It begins about 1,100 feet away. And then 2,600 feet to the east is Yosemite Independence High School. Here is the current street view. So like I said, this applicant's requesting a type 42 ABC license for a new bar downtown. This license would allow them to serve beer and wine, and it does not require them to serve any kind of food. This type of license does prevent minors from attending the tap room. And the ABC requires local jurisdictions to make a finding of public convenience or necessity in support of additional licenses if there's an undue concentration in that area. So this site is located within Census Tract 13.02. Currently, there are 28 active licenses, and this tract is only allowed 2 licenses normally. So this request requires City Council to make a finding of public convenience or necessity. So the law does not clearly identify any specific criteria that need to be used to determine the public convenience or necessity, but they do list some potential factors. Those are the character of the premises, the aesthetics and the ambiance of the proposed business, the attractiveness of the proposed business, the type of guests who are likely to be patrons, the ability of the business to serve a niche in the population that's not filled by other licenses. But like I said, this list is not all-inclusive, and specific factors to consider have not been made more clearly identified in the past. So here are 2 maps. The one on the left is a citywide incident map, and then the one on the right is the incidents within 500 feet of the project site. And both of these maps are from June 24th of 2024 to June 23rd of 2025. So we did run this by the City of Merced Police Department, and they are in support of finding a public convenience or necessity. According to them, though, this area did have a very high concentration of incidents in that time frame. But when looking at issuing alcohol licenses, specific incidents are looked at more. Those include narcotics incidents, disturbing the peace, and disorderly conduct. So during that time, there were 94 disturbances, 12 assaults, 3 public intoxications, 2 narcotics incidents, and 47 violations of the municipal code within 500 feet of the site. Here's a proposed floor plan. The entrance is at the bottom right. As you can see, there's also going to be a patio area in the front. And then there's tables throughout the site, and then there's a bar towards the north of the site. So this project was originally approved by the Planning Commission on July 23rd of this year. This request is only for the finding of public convenience or necessity. This site will also have a food truck in the private parking lot behind the building. The approved hours of operation are 12:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. Thursday through Saturday, and then they're permitted to be open until 11 p.m. The rest of the days. So, and like I said, they will have an outdoor patio area pending approval of an encroachment permit. So just some additional information about this. This will be an owner-operated bar. The owner indicated that they plan on designing it with an Irish influence, and they want it to be a place where members of the public can come watch a variety of sporting events. They plan on serving local breweries and wineries products, and they will allow food from other establishments to be taken into the bar, and they expressed interest in partnering with other downtown restaurants in the future. So after considering all the facts provided and the factors that may be considered, there's two options. One of them is to authorize the Director of Development Services to draft a letter of support to ABC for this license, or if the City Council believes that a public convenience or necessity would not be served, then they can direct the Director of Development Services to draft a letter opposing the request. So I'm here for questions, and the applicant is also here for questions.
Councilmember Harris.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you go back to the concentration of incidents?
Sure.
Yeah. Captain Perez, isn't the high number mostly due to the TCs at the corner of Canal and Main?
Correct. There's a lot of these types of calls in that area due to it being downtown with a lot of bars in that general area.
So when we look at what they call very high concentration, it's taking into consideration all those traffic things that are not really relevant.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Including kids on bikes riding the wrong way.
We've had that before too.
All right, anybody else? Any other questions for Mr. Livingston? Okay, Jennifer, anything from the public?
We do have a green request to speak form from the applicant.
Okay. Mr. Lara, 15 minutes, sir.
Well, I'm just here to answer any questions if you have them. Also want to share a, can you put that up? Kind of like how it's going to look. And I want to thank Matthew and Matt and Francisco. They've been pretty great. So this is kind of what we're envisioning, something that you would see at a city or I travel a lot, so I went to college down in Long Beach, and this is something that was very common to have pubs like this. We're not really doing any big structural work. This is all just kind of the facade. So as soon as you guys approve us, we can start on a lot of things, and hopefully we can open pretty soon. We're already talking with other restaurants and in the area because we're going to have a food truck, but we also want to we'll let customers bring in their own food, really be another pub in the area. It's a passion project for me. I feel that, this is something that we need downtown, and it also aligns with the downtown revitalization project. So here for any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Lara? Okay, so the building's currently vacant, correct? Or that unit is?
Yeah. Well, I'm in there, but.
Yeah, you're in there. Got it. Okay. Seeing nothing. I'll bring it back to council for discussion and/or a motion.
Motion.
Second. Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Harris and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Boyle. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. Okay, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right,
agenda
congratulations, Sayer, and thank you, Matt and Francisco, for all your work.
Okay, agenda item J2, approval of a supplemental appropriation from the unreserved unencumbered fund balance in the general fund in the amount of $53,250 and approval of a service agreement with the Lou Edwards Group to facilitate a community assessment and public opinion survey.
All right, City Manager McBride.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, and members of the public. Council seeking a request tonight, as the clerk just read,
for supplemental appropriation and to execute the agreement that we discussed, the contract that was discussed, to get a pulse of the community, to see if there's interest for looking at adding something potentially to the ballot for 2026. We have a long-term history with a couple of partners, Lou Edwards Group, FM3. These are leading advocates, leading specialists throughout the state. We're going to hit on the next slide. You're going to see they have a very high rate of, very high success rate. They bring things home. But just want to point out that we've had a subcommittee that's been working on this with your city staff, providing very good, clear guidance. We've asked the consultant to work on some items. They've done that for us. We're very comfortable bringing it back tonight for your consideration and possible action. We have a slide here tonight that's going to kind of show what other communities are looking at in terms of a schedule. We're not necessarily behind schedule, but we do need to move decisively and move forward quickly to stay on track. It is important, we think, to move forward now to get the community, while we're not trying to emphasize specific things, to get them where they have really, we're not trying to plant seeds. We want to see what they're cultivating in their own minds, so to speak. So that's part of the reason for this tonight. So Lou Edwards Group, as we pointed out here, has been a partner with the community for some time. They worked with the city on a few different items, Measure Y, Measure C. FM3 has done work with us as well. They also worked on us on our ARPA allocation. They did polling with that in mind for us. I mentioned 95% success rate, and on measures, that's very high. That's way above the average. So they know when it is plausible to move things forward. They know when it's time to not move things forward as well. One thing I want to mention here is that this is an agreement to get the community involved in looking to see if this is viable. They basically want to go out and do a sampling of 400 potential voters that are out there for the next election to get their feedback. And that's kind of where we look at and see what is viable. That's where we take their pulse and get your feedback for policy direction. That's where the contract ends at this point. If we want to go past that, it's up to the council to discuss, make policy direction to proceed past it. But we wanted to provide this slide for you as well tonight about what are different options that are out there. You obviously have experience with measures. We know about Prop 218 we're going to be talking about Prop 218 a lot this upcoming year with regards to rates for water, for refuse, special purpose things like bonds, parcel taxes. Those are things we don't talk about too much, but I know you're aware of it from some of your experience. Measures, obviously, you're very clear about that. We've done that for Measure Y and for Measure C in the past. Okay, a little bit of a few tiles here that talk about some of the components that have gotten into the background to get you where you are tonight. Talk about the subcommittee a little bit. And I want to highlight, I think it's something I just mentioned, that really we're just trying to get to the bottom slide here in the middle. This is a limited approach to kind of get through polling, to get you a policy step-off point, to see if there's interest, and that at that point you can make a decision to proceed forward or not. If there's strong support to go forward, you can make a decision to do that. If there's not, then we know that this is the time not to go forward. Okay, we thought this was valuable to share. This is a calendar that other communities are working on to prepare for potential measures for 2026. You can kind of look and see where we are, right? We're lining up just near mid to end August here. So we're perhaps a little bit behind times, but not too far behind. We can catch up pretty quickly. That's part of the reason why I want to move forward tonight with your consideration decisively to get this action proceeding. We hope to have information before you about what your community feels soon to give us all enough time to prepare once we make the decision about what you want to do to go forward. It's really all about what you do, what happens once you make that decision. The polling, the community consensus is important. That's where you need to spend the time to focus on now. Everything after that will happen after that, but for the time being, that's what we need to focus on to see where your constituents are coming from. And you can kind of see from this, it is going to be an all-out move to get ready for that deadline if that's where your community wants to see you move forward through. So we just want to kind of remind you tonight where we are in terms of what the recommendations are. We do need the recommendation for the appropriation of the funds, and then the approval for entering into the agreement, and then the authorization for your finance officer, and then my authority for entering into the agreement. So those are your 4 actions tonight for your discussion. So I'm here for any questions. I wanted to thank our staff. Jennifer's worked on this. The subcommittee, thank you for your support. I know Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember DuPont, Councilmember Shane Smith have been very actively involved in this. Could not have gotten it here tonight without their support as well.
All right, thank you, Mr. McBride. Thank you to our subcommittee as well. Any questions for Mr. McBride? Jennifer, anything from the public?
We didn't receive anything, Mayor.
All right, back to council. And before us tonight is the appropriation for the Lou Edwards contract. Obviously making no other decisions apart from that tonight, and they'll go forward and conduct polling and bring us information that will inform our future decisions. All right, additional discussion from the council, or is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? And then Councilmember Smith has a comment, I think.
Well, I'll second, but I was going to speak in favor of making the appropriation. I just want to say, as a member of the subcommittee, just real quick, I think this is an imperative item that we pass. We've talked kind of vaguely about going to our residents to see if there was interest in funding some programs that seem to be difficult to fund through the regular budget process. We've got a dynamite team, as the city manager said, with an exceptional win rate. We also have one of the best and well-known polling companies to actually run the poll. And I really look forward to seeing the data that they provide back so that we can make a reasoned decision about whether and how to move forward.
Councilmember Jean.
I'm not in favor of this. I know last time when we spoke about goals and priorities, we talked about ensuring that we have a pulse on the community and what their needs are. And I think, one, this adds an additional step when during that conversation, it was implied that we already talked to our constituents and we know what their needs are. And so I'm not fond of just spending money to spend money here. And then on top of that, talking with community members, they're not fond of another tax measure. So with the renewal of Measure C, they're struggling. And so they don't agree with going forward for another sales tax. So that's why I'm not fond of this.
All right, anyone else? Councilmember Smith.
Just some more information. One of the things that will be tested is not just sort of issue area, roads, public safety, parks, what have you, but also the potential funding instrument. I don't think it should be assumed at this point that there would be a sales tax. Merced County City in particular also has a lower sales tax rate than our peer cities up and down 99. So that's what the poll does. It gives us scientific data, so to speak, to tell us whether or not there's an appetite. And it's also important to note that this is a different kind of instrument than the 7 of us talking to our constituents, which is kind of colloquial. A poll by its nature is intended to take the temperature of people who are likely to vote in the next election. Right. And so there's really no better way to see whether or not it's worthwhile to move forward than to actually undertake this research and do the study.
Great.
Unless anybody else wants to speak, I'll call the question.
Anybody else? All right, Jen.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Harris and a second by Councilmember Smith. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. Okay, and the motion passes with Councilmember Zhang voting no.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Scott.
Agenda item K, business. K1, Councilmember Harris's request to discuss an ordinance that requires an estimate presented to patients for non-emergent medical transportation.
Councilmember Harris.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a brief recap on how this came about. Somebody I know was being transferred from Mercy Hospital to St. Agnes on a non-emergent basis just because he couldn't get the services here in Merced. That's a 61-mile transport. It took over 4 hours to arrange, and the bill to the patient was in excess of $7,300. Now, you bring your car in for service, and you're required by law to have an estimate. What I'm asking for tonight is to set before the Public Safety Subcommittee discussion. There are other options besides the city ordinance. There's involving the county, there's involving the hospital itself. What I'd like to do is have that discussion with the Public Safety Subcommittee and have us agree on what the best move forward it would be out of those options. I know Assembly Member Soria is talking about bringing before the Assembly in January a statewide bill to this effect. But I think we can look at something local in the meantime. Questions?
Questions for Councilmember Harris? Are you familiar with other jurisdictions that have these ordinances currently in place?
Not particularly. I'm been out of the loop on that for a while, so I don't know for sure. I know some hospitals do have it, but as far as municipalities, I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, so Chief Wilson, real quick, if you're aware of anything that you know, sir, that could enlighten us.
And your thoughts too.
I don't have a lot of experience in this arena, as this is typically the private ambulance side. So I know we have done some exploring with transports, non-emergency transports, and the rates and things like that. The rates that I'm hearing are very far away from the numbers that we were exploring when we were doing that study and for private ambulance. So, but I don't have any immediate experience with as far as regulating what billing would look like or exposing, making sure there's transparency in that billing. But I do think we can certainly help with our partners at the hospital. We have a good relationship with them and can help assist with working through to make sure something like that was in place for our residents.
Councilor DuPont.
Yeah, not necessarily a question for Councilmember Harris, but for City Attorney Cornwell, what is if you have looked into it for now, the legal capability of us imposing such an ordinance on a private entity or business and industry?
Thank you, Councilman. I have started my research. I believe my concern is preemption of the both federal and state level, which basically means that the federal and state have legislated in this area and will not allow the local governments to do their own legislation as well. I should be able to complete the research this week and send out a communication. But it's an issue that definitely needs discussing, and I think we should do what we can. But there's just some legal hurdles, I should say, that I need to review.
Councilor Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Harris. Chief Wilson went too far away from the mic, so I'll ask him to come back so I can ask him a question. I'll just say that I would be in favor of adding this to the next Public Safety Committee agenda for discussion. I mean, I can see some places this can go without an ordinance, whether that is maybe partnering with the county on some kind of working group to assess the problem. It could also boil down to a letter of support that we transmit to our Assemblymember Soria, and support her efforts at the state level. So, I mean, I think it's worth a discussion. But Chief, well, thank you for coming back to the podium. Are you aware, either at the county level or when we use our rig for patient transport, is there any kind of like permitting or anything that we issue to allow that kind of patient transport within the city limits?
So the EOA is the exclusive operating area agreement. That is a permit that is issued through Merced County that is currently being reviewed. The RFP is. So there is a permit for that. This, I believe, is a little bit separate in that this is not advanced life support transport, so not from a scene to the hospital. This is interfacility from facility to facility. So typically that's done on the private side. There are sometimes when ambulances are available on the ALS side, well, they will handle interfacility transfers. It's really a way to utilize the ambulances to generate revenue when they're not running advanced life support calls. So we have studied that. One of those things with billing for these is you can bill, significant amount where the rates on advanced life support are set in a contract. So all the ALS rates are set within the EOA. They're all agreed upon through that contract, where this is a little bit different. Oftentimes, I know hospitals will struggle to get an interfacility unit to come to get a patient out of their hospital to another facility. So sometimes they have to incentivize or agree to pay a certain amount in order to get those patients out of the hospital to make capacity within the hospital. It's a throughput issue. So I don't know the circumstances with this, but sometimes that could be on the hospital side. Sometimes the hospital actually agrees to pay those to help get those patients moved out as well. So
Sure.
It's pretty complicated. I don't know a ton about it, to be honest with you. But I do think it's something that, working with our partners, we can help with.
Well, Chief, I guarantee you know more than the 7 people sitting up here. That's why I'm asking the question. But I guess to boil it down, it sounds like limits on how the ambulance companies operate are set by contract with the hospital and with the county, and it's not something that the city does?
Don't quote me on the interfacility
Sure.
transfer piece, but I don't believe those go through county EMS. I believe those are direct between the hospital and the private ambulance providers. And that's why you're seeing a lot of them right now, because it's no longer within the EOA contract directly with the county. You're seeing a lot of companies like Active Transport and different ones throughout town because they're contracting directly with the hospital.
Got it. Okay. Thank you very much, Chief.
I can tell you that the county has jurisdiction if they want it. 1998, I believe, a case went before the, I don't know if it went to the state Supreme Court, but it was decided between the county of Sonoma and their interfacility transport company that the bottom line was if it had lights and siren, it was an ambulance, and no matter what service they were delivering, the county had jurisdiction over it. They could do an EOA for BLS. This county chose not to do it. So the mechanism of service is a contract between the company itself and the hospital or hospitals. In this case, it's just Mercy, and I don't know what they do in Los Panos. But any company is allowed to operate as long as they are registered with the county and they have a business license, and they have people at the basic life support level. So that's why the current provider for ALS can do those transports also. And in most counties, they do those transports because they're profitable. But in Merced, there's a staffing issue, so they don't do those very often. That's why they have the private services.
Yeah. Historically, in Merced, that was a part of the contract, and this last contract, they did not include BLS interfacility transfers.
So you could use your ambulance to do those kind of transports.
Right.
Thank you.
Councilor DuPont.
Thank you, Mayor. as to this piece, I really don't think we should be in this role as policing estimates on a private company. I don't think that's the role of one city council or the role of government. Who's to say that, next time around we don't decide, well, someone else needs to do an estimate for services they're providing, or this industry needs to do an estimate, or whatever it may be. I would not be in favor of any type of ordinance that this city would bring forward on this agenda item. I'm okay with it going to Public Safety Subcommittee and seeing what we can do, maybe with our county partners or a letter of support if that's what we decide, to the state legislature. But we should not be in the business of legislating private businesses.
Okay, anyone else?
I just, I appreciate your comments. I want to respond by saying that I think it is the business of the council when it comes to consumer protection and taking care of our residents, and providing them some type of protection against things like overcharging. And it still leaves their decision. They can pay that money. They can take that ambulance if they want. But they should know before they step into it what it's going to cost. And I don't think that's an abnormal restriction to place on private business, to be upfront and tell somebody what it's going to cost to do it. You do it for any kind of service. If you get a plumber, they're going to tell you how much it's going to cost to fix the leak. If you have an electrician, they're going to tell you how much it costs to turn the lights on. So I don't think it's so much of a control issue as it is an information issue and a consumer protection issue.
All right. So the request tonight, is there, Jennifer, anything from the public on this?
We don't have anything for this, Mayor.
All right. Councilmember Harris, your request is to have it referred to the Public Safety Subcommittee. The Public Safety Subcommittee would meet and discuss possible options in conjunction with the city attorney, who's already conducted some research on his own on this topic, and potentially return to council with some options. Is that stating it correctly? All right. Any further discussion, or is there a motion to that effect? Again, just referring it to the Public Safety Subcommittee. Public Safety Subcommittee will look into it and then return to us. Is there a specific time you'd like to return to us to include in the motion, or just sometime in the future?
As convenient for the subcommittee.
Okay. Councilmember Jean.
Yeah, I would just like to echo that I agree with Councilmember Harris in ensuring that the city protects our residents from exploitative conduct, right? And I think it's important to ensure that these private businesses have transparency because, again, it's not that somebody chooses to be transported somewhere else, it's that they have to go. So just making sure that it's transparent. So I could agree.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, seeing none, is there a motion?
I'll move to refer the item to the Public Safety Committee as summarized by the mayor a few minutes ago.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? Seeing none. Jennifer?
I have a motion by Councilmember Smith and a second by Mayor Pro Tem Boyle. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. Okay, and the motion passes with Councilmember DeAnda voting no.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Councilmember Harris.
Okay, agenda
K2, Jeff.
item K2, continued annual appointments to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission for Districts 2, 6, and an ex officio member.
All right. So we have 3 seats available on the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. First, District 2, second, District 6, and third, the ex officio. Turning to District 2 first, Councilor DeAnda. Dina Gonzalez, it appears, was the sole applicant for that position on the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. Unless you're aware of anyone else, do you have a motion to nominate her. Note too, she's applied for 3 different positions on Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory. She's the only one on Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory, Parks and Recs, and tax transparency. So I'm not sure if potentially that could be an issue.
Motion for Keith Edmondsger.
Okay. And have you spoken with Keith about his interest on the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee? Is he interested? I didn't see an application from him.
Yes, that's right.
It's a different one.
I think we might be skipping ahead.
Yeah. I think, Ryan, that's K5, the Citizens Advisory Focus Group. But with respect to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee, I think the only applicant, Jennifer, unless there's anybody else who's interested, I'm not sure if Mr. Emsinger was interested in that or not.
No, he only applied for the Citizens Focused Advisory Group.
Okay.
Which one was that?
So we're on agenda item K2.
Okay. That was for the bicycle?
Yes.
Yeah, bicycle.
Okay.
Dina Gonzalez was the only person who applied, but she was also the only person from District 2 who applied for 3 different spots: Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee, Parks and Rec, and Tax Transparency.
I was really a little upset about this, but yeah, I would recommend her for the parks and the bicycle park.
Okay.
I think I understand Ronnie's motion. I'll second his motion to appoint Dina Gonzalez to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Deanna and a second by Councilmember Smith. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. Okay, the motion passes unanimously.
All right, District 6, Councilmember Jean. Looks like Arturo Martinez was the sole applicant.
Yeah, I would motion to appoint him.
All right.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Zhang and a second by Councilmember DuPont. Mayor and council, please cast your votes.
I didn't get that.
That was Arturo Martinez, motion from Councilmember Zhang, second from Councilmember DuPont for the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee District 6 seat for Arturo Martinez.
Okay, and the motion passes unanimously.
Okay, for the ex officio non-voting member, number of applicants, is there anyone whose name jumped out who any members of the council would wish to see appointed? Anna Quintana Ceja, Bonnie Bianchi, Bridgette Bowers, Craig Harmelin, Delvina Johnson, I believe it was Dee Carlin, Eli Sachet, Gabriela Mendoza, Sabrina Abong, Stephanie Hager, and William Kwan. Councilman Jean?
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, do we know if any of these individuals sit on another commission or board? Just to reduce the list a bit.
So Sabrina Abong has been on, and I believe Delvina Johnson was just appointed to the regional airport.
Councilor DuPont?
I would bring forward Craig Harmelin. Reading his information provided, seems like he uses cycling and as a mode of transportation, and would bring good insight to that commission.
Okay.
I will second that.
Okay, a motion is second. Pending the motion, we have a comment from Mayor Pro Tem Boyle.
I was just going to second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember DuPont and a second by Councilmember Smith. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. Okay, and the motion passes unanimously.
All right, so we have Dina Gonzalez, Arturo Martinez, and Craig Harmelin On to Parks and Rec. We have 2 seats, the District 2 seat and the at-large. If you could indulge me briefly, Councilmember Dan, I think I see Felipe Rojas Flores here in the audience. Felipe, if I could ask you to come up real quick to the podium. He applied for the Citizens Advisory Focus Group along with Mr. Emsminger.
And Mayor, if I may, Mr. Flores did email us earlier wanting to withdraw his application from Citizen Advisory Commission, but to be considered for the Tax Transparency Commission. I didn't want to say it earlier because I felt like it was going to get all confusing, so I was kind of trying to wait for that.
Well, sir, I guess that kind of solves it right there. So.
And then also, Mayor, if I may, Harpreet Takar.
Okay.
She did do a application for Recreation and Parks, which is the handout that I gave to you just a little bit ago. We did not add that into the packet. We accidentally used both of her tax transparency for both of them. So I just wanted you guys, she specifically catered the application for Recreation and Parks for Recreation and Parks. So just wanted to note that.
Okay. All right, thank you, Jennifer. I think that solves some problems there.
And then we do also have a request to speak for this item as well,
Okay.
whenever
Who's the
you're ready.
request to speak from?
From Susan Gramala.
Okay. Susan.
Hi, thank you so much for allowing me to speak. I just wanted to let you know that I applied for the Commission for Parks and Rec as an art advocate. There were no openings on the Art Commission, but I feel like a presence with my insight from being from the outside, because I just relocated from Florida here. So just as a small business owner and one of many that are moving into this beautiful town, Merced, I would like to represent that population with Parks and Rec.
Okay. Thank you, Susan. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. All right, Jennifer, anyone else for Parks and Rec?
That's all we have, Mayor.
Okay, so Councilmember Deanda, 1 from District 2, that's Dina Gonzalez, who you mentioned earlier you wanted to appoint to Parks and Rec as well. District 2, Recreation and Park Subcommittee.
Okay, I have Dina Gonzalez on there. But I had,
Would you like to?
she was also on Parks Bicycle,
Yep.
so.
I think she's the only applicant.
I don't know whether they ran this together. That's what I was confused about. And I spoke to somebody else about that, and he said, go ahead and nominate her for both.
Okay. All right, is that a motion?
Yes, yes.
All right, motion to nominate Dina Gonzalez.
Second.
For Dina Gonzalez.
I think, Councilmember Smith, that was like that was about a millimeter. Nick Smith got it. All right, so Deanda Smith, Dina Gonzalez.
I have a motion by Councilmember Deanda and a second by Councilmember Smith. Mayor and Council, please cast your votes. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Now for the at-large position that became vacant recently.
All right. At large, I wanted to nominate Marissa Lewis to the position. That's okay. I want to thank Susan for being here too. I think Susan would be a great choice as well, along with a number of other people as well in this group. But I think Marissa would be a really good choice. So.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Serrato and a second by Councilmember DuPont. Mayor and Council, please cast your votes. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Okay, agenda item K4, continued annual appointments to the Tax Transparency Commission for Districts 2 and 6. And just as a reminder, Felipe Flores is interested in this position as well. So we'll have 2 for District 2.
Okay, so we have Dina Gonzalez for District 2, but we just appointed her to 2 other positions, and then Felipe Rojas Flores is now interested in the Tax Transparency Commission. Councilor Deanda, would you want to nominate Dina to a 3rd one, or Felipe Rojas Flores?
Now, which one did you say that was?
It's for tax transparency. We've already you got two choices, Dina Gonzalez or Felipe Rojas Flores. Dina, we just nominated two other ones. She probably wouldn't like us appointed to a third one and taking up all her free time. So Felipe's here as well, so I think he'd be a good choice. But
Felipe Flores.
all right.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Deanda and a second by Councilmember DuPont. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. Mayor, let's try that again. Mayor and
All right.
council, please cast your votes.
Cast your votes.
One more time.
One more?
Yeah, one more time.
For,
Same one.
Yeah, it's for Felipe Rojas Flores.
Yeah. Okay, and the motion, Councilmember Smith. And the motion passes unanimously.
Can I ask a procedural question?
Yes.
After we voted? It's unfortunate we have this hypothetical right in front of us, but if somebody applies and then after the deadline, they want to switch their application, isn't it technically untimely? The applicant applied for one commission and then switched after the deadline to another one. So should we repost it for District 2, Tax Transparency Commission? Not to be overly formalistic, but
To be over. Count correct.
process matters.
Yeah, I think we've posted it twice already. Go ahead, Craig.
Madam Clerk, what is the deadline?
The deadline was, I want to say it was August 6th. No, it was August 6th or 7th. So it was a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, for the deadline to get applications in.
But can't council on their own motion nominate someone outside of the application?
I mean, per the recommendation, it says accepting nominations and appointing individuals, so it doesn't necessarily keep it to just the applications. So it could be open to interpretation, I believe.
Actually, we're okay to.
Councilmember Harris.
I think there's some precedent in the past when they've been unable to fill a particular district, they've taken nominations from the dais for other people to fill that.
I believe we did that for the Citizen Stipend Setting Commission one time, where I believe you, Mayor, nominated somebody who hadn't applied, and it was pending their acceptance of said nomination.
Yeah, and that was always kind of the thought when we went to years back, when we went to appointing boards and commission members by district. Sometimes it could be difficult to get people to apply, but we've been through this twice as well. I mean, this is the second time around.
Well, okay, so let me put it this way. I think it's important to clean this up for next time. There's too much surprise at the dais as it is, but I think we could all interpret Councilmember Deanda's motion as having an implicit request to suspend the procedure to appoint Mr. Lopez to the seat. It was seconded and it passed unanimously, so I don't think there's a need to redo it this time.
Okay. District 6, Councilmember Jean.
I would motion to appoint LaTanya.
Okay, LaTanya Richard. Okay, is there a second? Okay, is there a second? Okay, hearing none, motion fails for lack of a second. Is there another appointee or nominee?
And if I may, real quick, I'm sorry, Jerry Vu did withdraw his application, just for the record.
All right, and he's on the Planning Commission currently, correct?
That is correct.
All right, Arturo was just appointed to the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Commission.
Oh, I suppose my second pick would be Harpreet.
Okay. Harpreet Takar. Is there a second to Harpreet?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Zhang and a second by Councilmember Harris. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. Okay, and the motion passes with Councilmember Zhang voting no.
And to K5, the Citizens Advisory Focus Group. Clear 6, right? Okay. Ready for K5?
Yes. Agenda item K5, continued appointments to the Citizen Advisory Focus Group for District 2.
Okay, one seat left. Councilmember Deanda, Felipe Rojas Flores, and Keith Emsminger were applicants. Felipe has withdrawn. You also said earlier that Keith Emsminger would be your choice. Is there a motion to appoint Keith Emsminger to the Citizens Advisory Focus Group for District 2? The seat for District 2 to the Citizens Advisory Focus Group, there were two applicants, Felipe, who was appointed earlier, to the Tax Transparency Commission, and then Keith Emsminger. Felipe is withdrawn, so Keith Emsminger is the only remaining applicant.
It would have to be him.
All right, we'll take that as a motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Deanda and a second by Councilmember DuPont. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. Okay, the motion passes unanimously.
All right, thank you, Jennifer.
All right, agenda item K6, request to add item to future agenda.
All right, future agenda, Mayor Pro Tem Boyle.
Nothing this evening.
Councilmember DuPont.
Nothing.
Councilmember Jean.
Nothing tonight.
Councilmember Harris.
Something. I'd like to place on the agenda discussion on changing the traffic committee into a commission with council appointments and monthly meetings. They're getting requests at a very high rate. They're meeting bi-monthly. I think we can do better with that.
Okay. Is there a additional discussion, questions? Okay, is there pursuant to the DuPont rule, is there a second? Councilor DuPont.
I guess my question is, the commission would be a public commission appointed by council? Is that what you're looking to change it from?
To change it to,
Or sorry, change it to?
yes.
What sort of powers would it have? Would it just be an advisory commission, or would it have some sort of, actionable power where they can?
No, I think it would be an advisory commission.
Okay. All right. Do you want it, what date are you looking for? Anytime?
Yeah, anytime is fine.
Okay. So we'd go out at least into, days to August 18th. So go out at least into October. All right. Anyone else want to see this come back sometime in October or thereafter?
I'll second.
All right. We have a second.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilmember Harris and a second. No, I don't have to
Oh, yeah,
vote.
we need
That's
to vote.
right. I'm sorry.
Just pick a date, anytime. Either Councilmember Harris, if you want to work with staff independently, or else we can pick a date now. Sometime October 6th would be the earliest date.
October 6th is fine.
All right, October 6th. Looking forward to. All right, Councilmember Smith, anything else, Mike? Anything else, future? Councilor Smith, anything for future agenda?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Councilmember Deanna, future agenda, sir. Anything for a future agenda? Okay, nothing from me, so we'll go to
Okay, agenda item K7, city council comments.
council comments. We'll start with our city attorney. He indicates he has a comment. Mr. Cornwell.
Mayor, council, residents, I wanted to inform you I've been a recent addition to the League of California Cities Brown Act Committee. So I'm hoping to raise Merced legal work in this committee. And I've been to a couple of meetings. There's a lot of work going on, so going to hit the ground running, so just wanted to share.
Thank you. I got a little nervous when you took that tone at first. I thought maybe you were like, I got appointed somewhere else.
Oh, my gosh.
Sounded like
I tell you, look,
didn't want to lose. All right, I guess we'll go this way. Councilmember Harris.
I attended the National Night Out, which was great, and maybe I'll donate some more hot dogs next year. The Golden Valley Staff Appreciation Day, the backpack giveaway at Golden Valley, which was very well attended. The Downtown Neighborhood Association meeting, the Ethics and Governance Subcommittee, and the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce mixer.
All right, well done. Councilmember Smith.
No report tonight, thank you.
Councilmember Deanna. Council comments. To my right, Councilmember Jean.
Nothing tonight.
Councilmember Dupont.
Yes, thank you. I was able to attend National Night Out as well. I want to thank staff as well, meeting with Weaver School District to come up with some solutions to some issues that are being posed in Southeast Merced. So I appreciate the time and effort by staff. Also, shout out to Public Works for their due diligence and their work at Flanagan Park. I appreciate the effort and all the work that we are doing within our parks to make them safer, cleaner, and better for all the citizens of Merced. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Boyle.
Nothing tonight.
We just scheduled two of our big volunteer community cleanups, September 20th at Farrens Park and November 8th at Applegate. And then we're looking probably late January for our Bear Creek cleanup. So I just want to let everybody know. Chris, one day, this is Lamb's request too, one day before the run. So it's our job to get Farrens Park ready for you guys on the 21st. We'll see. All right. That is 7:26. I think my recollection, 7:08 was the fastest meeting over the last few years, but we were close, but not quite there. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Boyle and a second by Councilmember Dupont. Mayor and council, please cast your votes. And the motion passes unanimously.
All right, we're adjourned at 7:26.